Diane, before the break, I said that I'd like to find out a little bit more about your own journey when you were younger. As a young kid, what were your dreams? What did you want to do in the world?
Well, it's sad to say that I didn't have very big dreams and goals for myself. I think because my parents were divorced. I actually have a really great story, and I'll try to keep it really short and sweet. But when I was 7 years old, my parents divorced. They both got remarried and were divorced for 20 years. But both of their spouses passed away of the same thing. They both died of emphysema. And on my mom's 50th birthday, my sister threw her a surprise party and invited my dad.
Oh.
And I'm so blessed that my parents hooked back up again, and they got remarried.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So
How cool is that?
I know, it's really cool, and they're on the front of my ranch, like I said earlier. So my dad comes down every single day and to check on me and just say, give me a hug. And so anyway, but because of that, I think that it's so important to have both your parents when you're growing up, because I think that we suffer from that. And I think a father, a lot of times, is an encourager for the daughter. And so I think that some of my dreams and goals, although my mom, she taught me tremendous lessons. She taught me perseverance because she raised, I have a brother and a sister. She raised all three of us by herself pretty much. And so I watched her take on 3 jobs and go to work every day and not have a whole lot of time for herself. So I saw that she could survive in the midst of, troubles. And so she did give me that. She gave me her great work ethic, because it's hard for me to slow down now. I see myself, I'm too passionate sometimes, and to a fault. But I think that had my dad been in the house, I would have been able to maybe take a different path, maybe thought maybe more of myself. But back then, not that it was that long ago, but I think where I was raised in New York, upstate New York, I think that most people were taught that you learn a trade. And you do that, and you get married, and you live happily ever after. And so that's kind of what I grew up thinking. And so, sorry to say, but I thought I was going to become a hairdresser. It's kind of funny because Dee Dee Kahn's going to join us.
Yes.
And although I wasn't actually a beauty school dropout.
There's a song in there.
Yeah. I went to beauty school for 2 years and then just absolutely hated it. And so I never did go take my test, and I never wanted to see another head of hair in my life. And so I got married kind of young. I got married when I was 19. And of course that failed. I think because of my circumstances. I think I just think I didn't have a whole lot of direction. But it was a good thing in a way, because it brought me to my husband that I have today, and has helped me to be in the place that I needed to be. So I don't really have any regrets. And now that I have my father back, it's wonderful.
Gosh, it's so cool. What's also so cool, when you're talking about your staff that gave you those notes, one for each day of the walk, what is it that you obviously do and how you run your business that is obviously a bit of a role model in valuing people as being part of a company that, to me, obviously doesn't focus just on the bottom line, which is financial, but focuses on the triple bottom line, which, is the financial, the community, and the environment. What do you put in place that you'd like to see other companies put in place?
I think probably the most important thing is that my husband and I have a really strong value system, and we treat people that way. The golden rule, you treat somebody how you would want to be treated, and it holds true. And we talk about our faith in our business every day. If you believe in something very strong, you share it. And so I think that has attracted a lot of strong believers, and with strong values, it's certainly affected it. Also, so many of our employees, we give them a lot of autonomy. We don't have time to micromanage. So we want them to be part of the team, and by that they contribute, and by giving them autonomy, it makes them feel empowered and good that they can contribute, and I think that's been a good thing.
Okay, and you also hold conventions fairly regularly where you bring your franchisees in. Can you share a bit about that?
Sure. We try to, as often as we can, provide further training and congregation of all our franchisees to keep them uplifted. And so we have an annual convention every year, and then we hold regional trainings once a year as well. And then we encourage them to attend continuing education. So we have our own Curves University.
Okay.
So where they can take kinesiology and nutrition.
Wow.
And also we do continuing education credits where we pick certain subjects. Like right now we're going to be working on a breast cancer campaign. And so we've been blessed to meet a really special doctor. His name is Dr. Badai out of California. And he's written a really great book about self-breast exams and how important it is. And so they'll read this book and then they'll take a test and they can earn extra credits for that. So we stress very importantly that education and learning is, you've got to keep learning and growing.
Okay. Now, how long have you been in Australia for, and how many franchisees do you have in Australia?
We've been in Australia, I believe, about 4 years, and we've got about 450 franchises and growing. It's been a very successful story there. The franchisees all our franchisees are great. They're, like I said, they have the passion. The most successful ones are the ones that have the passion and who are owner-operators. And anyway, they're a great group over there. We're proud to be over there.
It's so good to see the curves there.
Yeah. And
why the name?
The name. It's kind of funny. If you ask me and my husband independently, we'd probably both say, I thought of it. But I think we both came up with the name together. We actually sat around for weeks and tried to find the perfect name and prayed about it. And really, Curves is just such a beautiful name because it doesn't insinuate skinniness. You know, we think a woman should be curvy and beautiful and be proud of it. You know, our ad campaigns. We started our first national ad campaign, which is my department. I'm the image maker. Right. And we were the first to use real women in our commercials.
As in, not the stick figures.
Exactly. There's so much stuff out there that's just annoying to me that, you know, you have to be a size 2 or even a 0 now. Just the other day we were in LA and they said that you have to be a 0 to fit in. I mean, that's not healthy. And so I chose to use real women size for the U.S. size of about a 10, 12, 14. And it's just been phenomenal because we want to project healthiness and not, you don't have to be a size 2 or 0 or 4 to be beautiful. But we stress healthiness, and you know, women are beautiful in all sizes and shapes.
And it's interesting because when you started that campaign, we've found a couple of other companies have included that in their advertising campaigns.
That's right.
So isn't it great that, you know, yet again you've been a pioneer?
Yeah.
In an area that's taking, you know, other companies are taking that image out there.
Yeah. Yeah, and they've taken that and the credit. On occasion, that's okay.
Yep.
Because if they're out there advertising women in the right light, I'm happy about that.
Yep.
Because you know, I think it's difficult enough for women to live in this world, but then to have to feel like the only way to fit in is to be skinny. You know, that's not good.
Now, you didn't come out here alone, did you?
I didn't.
Who did you come out here with?
I came out with my very good friend Becky Fresher, and she's not only my friend, but she works for me. And
What's her role?
She's our communication specialist.
Okay, well, how about we take a break and then we'll bring Becky on with you.
Good.
Stay with us and meet Becky.